Hi guys, it's Stephanie. It's Thursday, June 29th. So this is the first time that I have made any videos after I leave my clients' home. I'm leaving Mr. H's home right now. It's about 8:35 and my session with him of 4 hours has just ended. Today was a very busy day for me with Mr. H. And remember, my day begins at 6 a.m. on my first time job, and then I leave at 3 and I get to Mr. H's home at 4:30. So I'm just leaving now after working for 12 hours. So I'll tell you how I feel about working an additional job in the healthcare service. I'm a caretaker. That falls under healthcare. So before I continue, I want to say thank you to all of my subscribers and to those visitors just checking out my channel for the first time. If you guys find something interesting or something that resonates with you, then please subscribe. Help me to grow my channel, guys. If you do, please give me a thumbs up and don't forget to share. We'll be right back with more. So if you're thinking about doing a caretaking job, just know that this type of job, although might not be very physical, it's very mentally demanding. Mentally demanding. Why? Well, because the demanding part that is really mentally challenging is that it depends on the condition of your client. If your client has some signs of dementia or Alzheimer's, dementia is caused by Alzheimer's, by the way, in case you don't know. It can be very mentally taxing on you because you find yourself being asked by the client the same questions again and again. And sometimes the same questions might come back to you from them within 10 minutes. And what I'm finding out with Mr. H is this. He obsesses over every little thing. If something is not right with him, he will obsess about it. If he's seeing some kind of writing or a schedule or a calendar that has markings on there for reminders, he's going to obsess about it because he'll sit there and stare at it and nitpick it with himself over this until there's no end. Okay? something as simple as getting in the vehicle and getting out of the vehicle is very challenging for these people. That's why I'm here. This is where I come in. Also, they can be very fidgety, but they're not totally locked out of having any control. They're very self-aware of their surroundings, but their concentration on anything that's going on is limited. They really have no concentration, and it's not about focus or not focusing with them. It's more about a compulsive disorder, and they really don't talk as much or converse in a regular conversation like I'm doing right now with you. So you find yourself alone a lot of times, and with Mr. H's condition, he paces around the house all the time. If you ask him where he's going, he says he's just going to go pace around the house because he's feeling anxious. It might not be anxiety. It's more like restless leg syndrome. You know how when you're in bed, your feet is always moving, you can't stop it from moving? Well, he can't stop from walking. His mind is always working. And if they get fixated on any situation that they're experiencing, it's hard for them not to focus on those things that's bothering them. It can be something as simple like today, for example. When I got to his house, he kept on asking me what happened to all the groceries that we bought yesterday at the supermarket. Well, you know, when you get groceries, it's not just one item, it's a bunch of items. It's bread, it's meats, it's fruits and vegetables, everything you need to make a dinner for him, and then some. When you pack those things out in the refrigerator, they're not all going in one container where he can see all of them. And so what I did was I pointed out to where those groceries were. But come to find out, what he was really interested in was that he thinks that his freezer temperature is not maintaining a cold temperature. So I checked the ice cream, it was melting a little bit. Now, anything could have caused that. It could have been anything. Maybe he didn't push the freezer drawer with enough force to shut it completely, so therefore maybe the freezer compartment was losing temperature. Okay, so that'll happen. And the other thing I told him was that his air filter in the fridge was saying that it needs to be changed. Okay, so stuff like that. They have a hard time communicating their needs. So a lot of times I try to start a conversation with him and find out if he had lunch, who his visitors were today, did his exercise therapy guy come in, all that stuff. You have to start a conversation, because if you don't get nothing out of them. Some clients are very communication. They like to talk. if you're there for 4 to 5 hours, it's nice to have some communication because time will go by quickly, you know? But, yeah, this job is not for everybody, especially if you're working a full-time job and then you go right into another job where it's more personal with the clients. Most of the time, I enjoy working with people like this. Other times, I feel like I have no patience because I keep repeating myself a lot. When that happens, you got to remember this. When they're repeating it a lot, to them it's the first time. They think it's the first time that they're asking this. But they've asked me the same question about 10 or 15 times within a 1 hour period. It just started raining, and that's what you're hearing right now. So yeah, so this is what it's like when I'm going home after my second job. Most of the time, it's okay. I've had Mr. H now for almost, I would say, 8 months. And even though I've had him for 8 months, sometimes he acts like it's my first day there. So guess what? I'm not going to act like it's my first day there. I simply answer his question and try to make him feel comfortable and let him know that I've been with him 8 months. So all this I'm talking about is memory. It's mostly his short-term memory. Anything that he's done, said, or any place where he's went within recent, he doesn't remember. You know, he'll just forget about it. But it's possible to remind him, then he'll remember. But you don't know if he's really remembering or he's just agreeing. He remembers years and years ago what he did and who he was with. He remembers all the memories with his family of years ago. It's just the short memory stuff that he forgets. And that can be just as crucial, if not more important, to assisting people that need caretakers in their home. Because a lot of things that happen that involve the memory is like when they misplace things. In one fraction of a second, they can misplace their wallet, or they may even forget that they took their medications. That happens a lot with Mr. H, because in the beginning, he was falling all the time. So after investigating, I discovered that he either wasn't taking his medications or he was overdosing. And that's because of his short-term memory. I don't know how he drives from one place to another, but quite frankly, I don't think he should be driving. It's not a good thing. So that's all I have for you guys right now. I just wanted you guys to see what it's like when I'm leaving my part-time job as a caretaker. Today was very interesting. You know, usually towards the middle of my time there and before I leave, I always check their vital signs, their blood pressure. And in Mr. H's case, it's because he was having dizzy spells and he's blacking out and he was falling. Sometimes when they get up off their chair or their lazy boy too quickly, they could feel a dizzy spell or a blackout coming on and just fall. So yeah. So right now I'm on my way home. I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna take a quick bath, change into something more comfortable, and I'm gonna pack my lunch because I have 2 more days to work before my 2 days off. So I'll be seeing you guys right here, probably in my vehicle, if not in my living room. So you guys have a nice the rest of the week off, and I'll be talking to you guys very soon.